Expressers! Today's video, we are introducing our A Walk Through the Bible segment where we examine different people in the Bible as well as share lessons to help you in your spiritual walk. This video, we will dive into someone you may or may not know. Does the name King Solomon ring a bell? What did you say? Say it a little louder for me. No, he ain't that new TikTok dude dancing in his kitchen. I know we all like our dose of that app, but But if you responded and said he was the son of King David, then you are correct. And we know that King David was a shepherd boy who killed the Philistine giant Goliath with a slingshot. So based off that, you know King Solomon was a force to be reckoned with. But instead of a slingshot like his dad, King Solomon was blessed with wisdom from God. Now let me break it down. King Solomon was also wealthy. I mean, he had bank. 1 Kings 10:14 says he received 25 tons of gold yearly. Can you imagine that? How much money would that be today? Well, according to MarketWatch.com, King Solomon received $40 billion in gold each year that helped bring his fortune to $2.2 trillion. I don't know about you, but the brother was paid, okay? But despite his wealth, there was something that he wanted more, and God gave it to him. Let's see how that unfolded. That night, the Lord appeared to Solomon in a dream, and God said, "What do you want? Ask, and I will give it to you." Solomon replied, "You showed great and faithful love to your servant, my father David, because he was honest and true and faithful to you. And you have continued to show this great and faithful love to him today by giving him a son to sit on his throne. Now, O Lord, my God, you have made me king instead of my father, David, but I am like a little child who doesn't know his way around. And here I am in the midst of your chosen people, a nation so great and numerous they cannot be counted. Give me an understanding heart so that I can govern your people well and know the difference between right and wrong. For who by himself is able to govern this great people of yours?" God indeed granted Solomon his request, and that is how he became known as the wisest man to ever live. An example of his wisdom came when there were two women who had an issue that needed to be resolved. Both women had a baby of their own. During the night, one of the babies died. One mother argued that the other rolled onto her own baby and the baby died. As they both argued who the living baby belonged to, Solomon asked for a sword. He suggested the baby be split in half and each piece given to each woman. The true mother of who the baby belonged to cried out that instead of killing the baby, just to hand him over to the other woman. The other woman was ready to see the baby killed. Solomon then knew that the true mother was the one who would have given up her child instead of seeing them split in half. This amazed everyone at how just and fair Solomon was. With all this wisdom, Solomon wrote the Book of Proverbs, Song of Solomon, and Ecclesiastes. But despite his wisdom, Solomon disobeyed God. How so? Well, Solomon had 700 wives and 300 concubines from different nations. Before we go further, let's just take that in. I mean, how would that have even worked? However, God instructed him, as well as all of those of Israel, to not marry these foreign women as they would turn their hearts away from him. Solomon ended up ignoring God's instruction, even engaging in pagan worship, building shrines so that his wives could burn incense and sacrifice to these gods. Y'all, Solomon was caught up loving these women, and for his disobedience, God ended up splitting the kingdom of Israel. To say the least, Solomon's disobedience affected not only him, but the future of Israel as a whole. In conclusion of this lesson, I would like to ask you, what did you learn from King Solomon's story? If you could have had a talk with him before he made such a decision to go against God, what would you say? Let us know in the comments. Once again, thank you for joining a Walk Through the Bible series. Catch you on the next one.